Hello, everyone, and welcome to Monday. Bob and Phineas. Say hello to Phineas TF sitting over here on my side.
Good day. How are you today, Bob?
I'm good, Phineas. I'm good. I was thinking as the music was playing there that we're about halfway through our Monday and Tuesday and show season for all of the network programs. It's funny how quick it gets by. It seemed like just yesterday we were opening up for the season. Now we're halfway through almost. And,
Yes, indeed.
that also reminds me that we're almost halfway to Christmas because, it's going to be rolling in pretty fast. I know you've been extremely busy at the North Pole,
Yep,
dealing with all the things starting to gear up for the Christmas season coming up. I know it's still 6 months away, but your duties never end, my friend.
definitely not. Definitely not. And we're also getting ready. We're doing some Christmas in summer visits down in the Ontario area, and I'm sure lots of other folks are doing Christmas in July, Christmas in August as well. So
Yes, that is true. That is the next big event for performers of the Christmas magic, as Santa Mel likes to say.
yep.
Uh, we got plenty of opportunities to get out there in July and work, not only as a cause, but there's other opportunities with theme parks opening up. Go out and get yourself a part-time job to fill in as
Yep.
uh, a performer at one of the theme parks. I know we have Six Flags over Texas, and they have stage production shows and things where you can go and hey, be a pirate or be whatever your heart's content.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Between the theme parks and things like the Renaissance fairs and other events that happen during the summer months, lots of opportunities out there. So
That's right. Just remember to stay hydrated and try to get out of the sun every chance you get. It's turning into that time of year.
indeed.
It's 87 here today and partly sunny. We did have storms overnight, some intense storms overnight. As I was telling Phineas in the green room, luckily by the time they reached us, they had started to weaken somewhat, so we didn't get the full brunt. But folks along the Red River between Oklahoma and Texas, and especially out west near the Lubbock, Amarillo area between us and them, got some crazy storms yesterday. Gigantic hail. There were some tornadoes that spun up, short-lived, but some that spun up. So it's that time of year. Watch out for the weather, and if you're outside, stay hydrated and try to keep cool. Hey, take a cold rag and put it around your neck, or put on a thermoparail if you've got a thermoparail. Clearly
I
vest, put that on.
I was
Ah,
going to say thermopyro vests. Yeah, definitely, definitely. And we'll lead into that for Tuesday as well. It was
good.
77 degrees where I'm at here today, and it's been raining all day. I've been outside in the rain, and so I had to come in a bit early and change into dry clothing, which is why I'm wearing my swimsuit and just trying to keep dry now. So here we are. So
That time of year for sure. Hello, Dana. She says it's pouring where they're at. David says hello to both you and I. Uh,
yep,
Dana also said hello to Angela. Bill Coates is with us. It's like
Ray
Ray
Brad.
Bradshaw here. Now,
Yeah.
Ray is the county north of Dallas. I've mentioned this before in Denton County. He's the county north of Dallas Fort Worth that straddles our uh, line there, and they always get some of the more intense storms because it just reaches them as it starts to weaken, and by the time it comes rolling into town, Dallas Fort Worth, major city itself, it weakens a little bit. So I think Ray probably got some pretty tough stuff last night. It looked like it from our radar anyway.
Yep.
And he says, "Don't remind him. He starts November 9th."
Just after Halloween, just after Halloween. So Raymond's going to go from being Papa all the way to Father Christmas in less than a week's time. So good to see that. Charlie Johnson from Michigan is here with us, and Charlie thinks he's out of timeout. So I'll let Angela answer to that, whether or not Charlie's out of timeout.
Yeah,
Uh,
she says he's fresh out today, so he's thinking ahead. He's looking forward to the trivia already.
yes,
And
indeed.
why not? You get a cool prize from Wade and Scarlett over at santascloset.org. If you win that, and your name also goes in the hat for the drawing for NPC, Norfolk Cornerstones in Oklahoma City next February.
Yes, indeed. Paul Anderson from my neck of the woods is with us. Good to see you, Paul. Hoping you and Arlene are doing well. And I also see Robert Auer again from Texas is watching with us as well. So hello, Robert.
That's the Santa Bob. He's over in Alabama. So
Santa Bob in Alabama. Yeah. Okay.
Santa Bob. Yeah, he's been accused of being one of my twin brothers. Spangle, real quick story. Spangle was over there doing their event that Cotton State Santas do each year. It's a big event that they come together and have a potluck or whatever and network together. And he called me on a video call and he says, "You got a second?" I said, "Yeah." He turned the camera around to Santa Bob and says, "Look who I found." And I'm looking, I'm thinking, wow. And he turned back and he says, "Santa Bob and Santa Bob look an awful lot alike." And I said, "We do look a lot alike." And of course, his wife was sitting there and she says, "Yeah, that's kind of scary." So, fun time. So, Bill Gorbett is with us. I
Yes,
don't know
indeed.
if we mentioned that or not.
Yep. And Betsy Modzieski is with us as well. So good to see you, Betsy.
Yeah, good to see Betsy on.
The spirited Mrs. Claus and the Tooth Fairy. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, Paul, that's correct. If now on Mondays, because that the scholarship is tied to the Santa's Closet question, that's the only one that excludes you from it. On Tuesday night, you can go into the hat as many times as you can win. There's no timeout for the first trivia question, which is sponsored by School of Santas over on Tuesday night. So, and same way on some of the other network shows that we have. Each one kind of has their own little rules that they like to go by. But for instance, our timeout is 45 days, and I believe that the Kringle Brothers has set theirs at 65 days. So we all have our own little set of rules. But yes, Tuesday night you can definitely go in as many times as you want to, Paul, and win on that first one.
Yep. And I see that Santa Bill Durden from Georgia has joined us, and AJ is with us as well. So welcome, AJ. Good to see you.
Yeah, he told Paul correct. So okay, well, Angela Mack is going to clarify that right there in her comments. So I'll tell you what, right here would be a good spot to let's go ahead and get our inspirational message for the week out of the way. Let's jump over and get Santa B and see what he has for us today.
Get my page set up here.
Okay.
Ho, 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 and happy day, my friends. Santa B back here with you again today. And today, I just want to encourage you to be nice. We are the purveyors of the naughty and nice list, and we need to make sure we're staying on the right one. I know there's a lot of things going on in the world today, but always remember, we are ambassadors of Christmas, the most wonderful time of the year. And we have to be wonderful all the time, and it's not easy. We always have struggles. There's a lot of things going on in the world that we may not like. But when it comes to our presence as a Claus, as a Christmas performer, we have to rise above. We have to be nice. And we have to be seen being nice. I hope you have a wonderful day. Be blessed, be well. I love you all. Bye-bye.
That's a great message. I like that one today.
It is a good message, and it will also tie into what our something burger is as well. So thank you as always, Santa B, for your inspirational messages.
It sure will. So I'll tell you what, let's say hello to Sean White. She's joined us. Claus Connect. Good to have you on, Sean. So let's go ahead and let's just go ahead and jump into that something burger. You ready?
Yes, indeed.
All right, let's get Angela to play that lead in, and we'll be right back. Okay, Phineas, go ahead and put that out there, and let's get a lot of back and forth going here on this one.
Yeah, I think there should be some good back and forth on this one. Following from Santa B's message about being out there and being seen, I'm going to ask the Christmas performers, when you are out and about in your civilian clothing, and I mean not formally as your Christmas performance character, but you get recognized. What do you do to maintain the illusion and keep the believers believing? Particularly those of you who are real bearded and have the white beards 24/7, 365. There are times, and I know it happens, where you get the look, the little side eye look, and then you get and then you see the whispered behind the hands and everything like that. So, what do you do when you are recognized, even though you may be in civilian clothing, wearing your WWE t-shirts or your Ed Hardy t-shirts or whatever, mowing the lawn? What do you do? I will go first because as human, Mike is sometimes recognized as Phineas, but not quite. My glasses are the same, and I really can't hide the fact that I am tattooed. Most people only see the tattoos during summer events with Phineas, although it's going to be harder this year. But every so often I do get recognized, but because I don't have the ears or the nose, and I'm not wearing the red flannel shirts in 90-degree weather, I'm not usually recognized. But when I am, I've got to have a really good backstory why I'm here. And it typically is I'm doing reconnaissance for toys, we're doing reconnaissance for the latest electronics and that type of situation. And it's this is where having your backstory, this is where having your biography and an understanding of your character fits in. So you can slip into character and just sort of go, I'm trying to be incognito here. But I am here, checking out the toys, and I'm checking to see what we've got for summer toys, because every so often I get asked for summer toys during Christmas time. So I just want to make sure that we're happening. That's what is going on, getting all the new electronics, checking out the plants, making sure that the iPhones are in order and the Nintendo Switches or whatever the new hot electronic toy is. Production's going well for those, so we're able to source them, and arranging sourcing for some of the higher tech stuff even too, and stuff like that, which is not hard with these tariffs. So there's lots of options for that. And then every so often I do have, I do carry a prop with me. Typically I have a thumb tip somewhere on myself, just to go, I'm picking up, some fairy dust or something like that, and I'll reach behind their ear and grab a light using a thumb tip. So that type of situation.
Yeah, you can always start off with a wink, a nod. There's so many ways that you can kind of subtly
Yep.
let that child, or even an adult, if the child is tugging on their shirt, say, "Mama, Mama, Santa, Santa," or "Elf, Elf," and so there's many ways to address that. Of course, now a lot of times the adults try to shy back, tell the children, to kind of stand back. Shh, no, no, no. A lot of times they approach you and they'll say, "My child thinks you're Santa," and then that's when you go into full Santa mode for sure. Now my follow up on this is there's a lot of things, and Phineas mentioned the D light, the thumb tip, and how important that is, and so many different ways of using that. Uh, Lots of fun, and it conceals well and easy to carry in your pocket, shirt pocket, coat pocket, pants pocket. It doesn't matter. It's there. You can slip it hand in your pocket and pull it out. A lot of guys have business cards that they want to give. A child's card. I do have a child's card with no phone number or information on there. But of course, if you give a child one of the naughty or nice, or the nice pledge card, and you for sure got to give mom or dad an adult card. And of course, that has all your contact information on it. Coins, stickers, tattoos, candy canes in your pocket. A lot of guys carry candy cans with them. For me, magic cross pennies. Those are the pennies that has a cross stamped out of them. I'll have those in my right pocket. In my left pocket, I have a regular standard penny. and we play a little sleight of hand where they help me get the magic out of it. It turns from a standard penny into the cross penny, and I end up giving it to the child and let them have it. Another one is, and I carry these with me a lot of times, is the Pole credit cards. You can get those, in several different places. North Pole National Bank. I mean, they've got different names. They have Santa Claus on it. Your Slave Pole driver's license. Those are great to have. And you can slip them out and start showing them to the children and to the adults. I've had adults say before, "Well, I'm a believer again," because they get that reinforcement that this guy's serious. He's a professional. He knows what he's doing. So,
Yep.
always great ways to handle those things.
Yep. I always have on my phone the naughty nice meter scanner and that type of thing. This is the new one that Jenny Watt, who was at North Pole Cornerstones, is developing. And always have that. It also can be a Christmas spirit meter, so I can check to make sure that the adults have enough Christmas spirit in them. So there's always something to have just to keep that magic going and to keep them believing. And but if you get recognized, you got to be prepared. If you're having a rough day or just a horrible day, and you're recognized as Santa, you got to become Santa like that. So same thing with Phineas and Mrs. Claus as well. So
yeah, you wouldn't want to disappoint a child if they see you as Santa. Then, and you've been a professional, you are Santa when you're performing. So it hurts nothing. The other months out of the year to slip right into character. It gives the children hope. It gives them, a sense of love and puts a smile on their face as well as the adults.
The adults, yep. So Charlie Johnson says that he goes immediately into Santa mode and asks them how they recognized him, and then he talks to about why he's out and about and checking the nice list, and also saying that he's glad that they are on it, and if he's got a chance, maybe he'll take a quick video or a short or a photo.
Absolutely.
Yep. David Milmine, Santa David from my neck of the woods, the Santa I work with, had 2 instances in the last week. He was loading his order at the butcher shop and the car pulled up beside him. The grandmother reached out of the car and announced, "Santa, I've been such a good girl."
Love that. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Once again, children of all ages, as I say. Ray Bradshaw notes that he is Santa's cousin and is connecting with the locals and checking in on them for his cousin.
Well, and that's a good way also. You don't have to particularly go into the Santa mode. You can always be a relative, as Ray says.
Paul Anderson, just this past weekend, a mom relayed to me that her daughter told her that she saw Santa and it wasn't even Christmas. And Paul noted that he didn't even hear or see this young lady. And that's what's important. If you're dressed out and dressed and possibly wearing, you might have your red fedora on or Claus casual, you gotta be prepared and understand that, especially if you're a real bearded gentleman with the real beard and the long white hair, if you're going to be wearing red and you're out and about, you're going to be recognized as Santa. So you need to be able to behave and comport yourself like that appropriately. Carl White notes that when he's asked if he is Santa, he usually answers with the question, "What do you think?"
Right.
Eventually, he shows the Santa ID, and then he asks, "How do you recognize me? I was wearing a disguise."
Well played, Carl. Well played.
Santa Bill from Georgia states that he talks to him just like he does at Christmas. He starts off with, "You're very observant that I'm not in the red suit and that you noticed." So he starts off with a compliment. So David continues with the grandmother. He played right along and told her, "I wasn't expecting to be noticed." Her granddaughter told her to leave the man alone, Gran. He doesn't want to be bothered.
Leave it to the adult to be the child in that case, and the child to be the adult.
I was going to say the granddaughter was probably embarrassed that grandma was talking to Santa. Doug Wright notes that he never wears any Christmas clothing except for the local meat and eats. He does have adults ask him if he is Santa, and he puts his finger up to his lips, indicates to stay silent. Then he gets from them, I know it. He gets a lot of children who will give them that look, but most have been taught by the parents not to talk to the strangers. If they really get into it, he'll use the same finger to the lips and say, don't let anyone know I'm here checking my nice list. So,
And that's Doug Wright, my co-director for the Texas State Santas there, chiming in
yep,
on that.
yep. And that's another thing you need to be kind of careful with, is that, there is stranger danger. And so if you do hand out anything to the children, make sure that you ask the parents' permission first. Paul Anderson had a 2 to 3 year old who looked at him and said, ho ho, which does happen a lot when you're out and about and you come across with someone who is not quite at the verbal age. Santa Bill noted that this happened to him Saturday at a yard sale. He was walking around and noticed a little girl following him. When she asked me, are you him? He carries the Santa coins that he can hand out, and he puts his finger to the mouth to give her don't tell, and winks at her and continues walking.
That's good. Very
Yep.
good, Bill.
Everett Prostralo says, I always say, you can see me. You can see me. The elves say I would be invisible if I was out shopping today. How are you? So he plays along a wee bit. Sean White, Mrs. Claus Vintage, states that she will be kind, authentic, soft voice when she talks with children. She usually thinks to herself, if only this little one knew they were talking with Mrs. Claus right now. And if an adult does bring it up, she will be authentic, smiling, and kind as we talk, and usually sprinkle in some of the comments about the North Pole, if that's the direction in which they're headed.
Yeah, Sean, maybe you should get you some Mrs. Claus children cards that doesn't have any of your contact information on it. Again, for mine, it is a nice pledge. On the back, of course, says, be sure and brush your teeth. You check it, clean your room, check. Mind your teacher at school, check. That sort of thing. And just slip it to the child. Of course, you always want to make sure that the parents are good with that. And before I hand a child a card, I always look up at mom and dad and say, may I give your child a card, and go from there. So get permission first. It's a great way to reinforce to the children that they've actually saw Mrs. Claus.
Yep. Santa Jamie notes that he keeps the cross pennies to give out when he's notified. And he further commented he likes the answer, how did you recognize me? I'm wearing a disguise.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. David Milmine says that he was in the pulpit on Sunday, and the children who had come in late to the service were going back and forth as soon as the service was finished, run up to ask me if I was Santa. He had some Santa coins in his pocket that they got and asked them not to tell the adults who he was. So that being said, they were very good during the sermon.
Absolutely. They certainly don't want to get on Santa's bad side, but of course they don't want to get on the big guy's bad side either. So
No, exactly. Having Santa in the pulpit doing a sermon, yeah, that would be impetus. Welcome to Doug. Thank you to you, Santa Doug. Hoping Jenny had a good birthday yesterday, and always good to see you.
yeah, a belated happy birthday to Jenny. Yesterday was her birthday, as well as our very own Randall Santa Checker Lee. Was his birthday yesterday too. I did reach out to him on telephone. I always call him on his birthday. Must have been busy. I got his voicemail, but told him I loved him and take care of himself. And I was thinking about him and happy birthday. Also know that Phineas's buddy there, Mike Hutchins, had reached out and spoke with him also. So great job, guys.
Terry
Jamie
Webb
today. Very good. Hello. Happy birthday, Jamie.
Yep. I was going to say today is Jamie's birthday as well. And Randall actually just commented, hi, everyone. Miss you all. And we miss you too, Randall. Hoping we can connect and maybe get you to even fill in a guest spot for us at some point. So
Well, I was going to ask him that yesterday if he had an answer to his phone, and he must have felt that was coming. So I assume he was out celebrating. But anyway, Randy, whenever you're ready, brother, you reach out to me or Phineas and let us know. And you are in always. You are still very much a part of this show.
Yep.
And we just hope that you're feeling better and doing well.
Mhm.
It's like Ray Bradshaw's got another one up there. He says he tells the parents out of earshot of the children, Santa's secret to stay young is you need to stay a little bit naughty. Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Well, you know what? It's okay to spread that message because I have a little spiel that I get into that says that even Santa gets in trouble, and it's about punky pie and whipped cream and shaking up the can and putting the can up and filling my mouth full of it with the whipped cream, and how Mrs. Claus gets mad, shakes her finger at me. But I let the children know that even Santa gets in trouble sometimes. It's all in fun.
Yes, indeed. Every so often, if Phineas gets the right crowd, he comments that there's a difference between naughty and delightfully naughty. So,
Very,
so
very good.
yep. So,
Okay,
oh, Randall is getting his infusion as he types, so he is watching us while getting his treatment. So, always hoping that makes the infusion go faster and better for you, Randall. So, thank you for joining us.
Yes, sir, Randy. Take care of yourself, my friend, for sure. And we all love you. That's for certain. That's a given. Uh, let's see here. I think that's all the comments, isn't it? Do you see any others, Phineas?
I think that is all of the comments we have so far, Bob. So
It's a pretty good segment. Great answers as always. We we say this time and time again, but we love that segment. That segment is so cool. And since it's so cool, we're kind of going to throw that same thing tomorrow night in my opening of the Tuesday Night Live show. I have a participation question. That's right. We're going to take a page from the Monday show. So if you love this segment so much, jump in tomorrow night as I throw out a question for you to put your answer in the chat. Love to see what everybody has to say about what I'm going to ask tomorrow night. Okay, Phineas,
yes,
let's go ahead and let's do our trivia question. So we're going to kick it over to Angela, and we'll be back on the other side of this.
Hey everyone, Angela Mack here for Bob and Phineas Live, the show about nothing. Season 4 of Bob and Phineas is brought to you by santascloset.org, where you can find all your accessories for the discriminating Santa, Mrs. Claus, and the elves. Visit Santa Wade's website at santascloset.org today, where they are known for delivering unique, value-packed Santa and Mrs. Claus accessories since opening in 2004. The goal has always been to provide both a superior customer experience at a tremendous value. Their products are fairly priced, and Santa Wade strives to bring many different products to the Claus community. Visit the website and make your next season a truly special one. This is Angela Mack reminding you all to catch our show every Monday at 3 p.m. Central, presented by TNL Network Productions. Thanks for watching. Now let's get back to Bob and Phineas in the TNL studios in today's Monday Santa's Closet Trivia.
That's right. It's Monday Fun Day Trivia, and we've been stuck on children's books for a few weeks here, but always good questions. So go right ahead, Phineas, and throw it out there at them.
Okay. In the little golden book, The Sweetest Christmas, Winnie the Pooh gives each of his friends a Christmas gift. When he gets home and unwraps his gifts from them, he discovers they each gave him the same gift as he had given each of them. What was the gift, and who was the author and the illustrator of the book?
That little golden book series, as I mentioned last week, is such a great series of books for children. And I enjoy them. You don't have to be a child or even a child at heart to enjoy those books. And it's fascinating that they all are such a great written and illustrated, so great of quality. And they're so, almost every book has a different author and illustrator, or there are a few that are common, but
Yep.
a broad group of folks that came together to help put that little golden book together.
Yep.
Series. Angela still got it up on the screen there, so we'll leave it up for just a moment and let everyone ponder on that one.
So once again, in the Golden Book, The Sweetest Christmas, Winnie the Pooh gave each of his friends a Christmas gift. When he got home, they had unwrapped his presents from them. He discovers that they each gave him the same gift as he had given each of them. What was that gift? And who was the author and illustrator of the book?
Yeah, the old saying that thought is what counts, and the fact that they all traded gifts was wonderful. But in the end, it had a twist to the plot.
Mm-hmm.
Twist to the plot. Okay, Angela, are we ready to go ahead and let's run our two thank yous real quick? All right, I want to say thank you to both King Risk Partners and Caboose, two contributors to the TNL network. And wanted to just say with King Risk Partners, of course, formerly known as Talbot Insurance Services, nothing has changed as far as your coverage. Matter of fact, they partnering up, they may have a little broader platform to work off of there with more options than ever. But remember, business, auto, home, Santa suits, Santa props, anything that you use in the industry, you get insurance for through King Risk Partners. And for Caboose, I don't know how many of you saw last week, but Scott Saratian had his pair of boots that he had ordered back in Gatlinburg come in, and was showing them off on the show. And my, they are beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
I was actually polishing my kaboots that I wear as a clown, and I just realized that they are nearly 20 years old, but they look like, as long as you take care of them, they look like they're brand spanking new. Just amazing quality. I'll bring them on a upcoming episode just so people can see what they can do for you as a performer, because they are one of my most comfortable pairs of boots that I have. So
that would be wonderful to be able to show those off, Phineas. And you know, again, with Joey and Priscilla, they use the best of leather, and with 4 generations of boot making, they got the technique down. It's amazing how quick they can put out, how many pair of boots they can put out a week. And you know, again, they're not only in the Santa business; they are big into the Western wear side. The cowboy boots that they started making 4 generations ago, many of the top boot makers brands nowadays was tied to Caboose in one way or another through their family, who again 4 generations of boot making. And so great history there, great story. Matter of fact, you can go over to caboose.com and they have the story up on their about page there and read it, because it is quite fascinating how they got started, 4 generations, and all the different boot companies that are tied to Caboose in history. So, okay, looks like we got some answers rolling in here, and on our trivia, so that's a good thing.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, we'll go ahead and jump into Open Chatterbox News, ECN again. Just want to let everyone know again that North Pole Cornerstones, npcornerstones.com, 4-day classes for 2026 has moved and will be held in a centrally located city of Oklahoma City North. Hilton Garden Inn and Conference Center, that's in Edmond, Oklahoma City North again, February 12th through the 15th, 2026. $4.59, but take advantage of our registration special. When you pay in full, there's a $25 discount. For couples, that would be $50. And this deal ends on August 1st. The discount is not available with the 100 deposit option because you can pay 100 and pay it out. But that discount is not optional for that. And I might want to say that we added another meal, and so we're up to 7 meals, 4 lunches, 3 dinners. The only meal that is not covered during the whole time that you will be at North Pole Cornerstones is Saturday night out to Bricktown. That is the entertainment district. They're in Oklahoma City, and there's tons of restaurants to choose from. This last year in San Antonio, we just all buddied up where we wanted to. Steak sounded good. Some people went to Saltgrass if Mexican food sounded good. Some people went to the Mexican food restaurants there. There's many of them. And for us, we went to a place that had steaks and Mexican food and kind of a combination of things. And was very pleased with our meal there. And it's going to be the same way in Oklahoma City.
Yep.
All right. Over to you, Phineas.
Santa Ana's Holiday University is coming to the Windy City September 19th to 21st, 2025 in Hoffman Estates, Illinois. Hosted by Northern Illinois Christmas Entertainers. Santa Ana's Holiday University offers a school from a perspective, a woman's point of view, designed for all entertainers. Join Deanna Golden and Judith Broderick. Even if you're not a Mrs. Claus, Santas, Mrs. Clauses, elves, solo couples are welcome to enhance your own unique portrayal. Tuition rates include 2 lunches, 1 dinner, snacks, beverages, your graduation reception, a gift, and a student handbook, and much, much more. So go to santanana.com for more information.
That's right, guys. Now, if you're up there in that tri-state area around Chicago, Indianapolis, anywhere up there, take advantage of this. Santa Nana, Lucky Roy's put together such a great teaching platform, and Deanna and Judy took that over, and such a great school. I mean, ask anybody that's been to one of their classes, and they'll tell you how much fun they had and how informative it was. And then remember that also NPC is a combination of Sat Bob's and Santa Nana with the philosophy of Gordon Bailey and Lucky Roy's brought together more on the performance side. Less PowerPoint, less lecture, but a whole lot of group interaction. So, all right, back over to you.
And coming up in less than 38 days is School of Santas 2025 in Branson, Missouri. Join Spangle the Clown as he hosts the keynote instructor Lee Andrews from July 17th to 20th, 2025. He will also have other instructors, including Mrs. Claus Vintage, our very own Sean White, as well as a variety of entertainment options, and of course, the famous cobbler.
And the famous cobbler. Can't wait for that one. I always enjoy that very much. I had to, of course, being diabetic, I have to go easy on it, but hey, even one bite's a treat, even one bite. Okay, so tomorrow night on Tuesday Night Live, coming up, our guest in show is Julia Cracky. He's been on the show each season with us. Thermapparel Cooling Vest, and she has some new products and lots to talk about tomorrow night. So join us for that and check out some of the new stuff that they've got going on. Okie dokie. I know that I seen Phineas back in the green room polishing up on that shovel, so I guess we're ready to do some digging.
Yes, indeed.
All righty, let's go over here and do this, and we'll get back on the other side to see that segment. Always a great segment.
Wow. Just caught me getting back from out in the stables and working with the new reindeer. As you know, that I have worked with the reindeer ever since I started working with Santa and Mrs. Claus. And as you can see from my little subtitle, I am now the reindeer wellness coach. We have created a reindeer wellness center to make sure that the reindeer are all in great tip-top shape and also very, very ready for the trip. That includes training the young reindeer to get used to using the harnesses and the bridles, and maybe even take the bit if they're going to be the lead of the team. So I just came in. As you can see, I'm wearing my roping cuffs just to protect my arms from some of the more stubborn reindeers who are fighting the harnesses a bit and everything like that. They just might need a little more oomph, and I need to protect myself as well. What you saw there was part of what I'm going to be doing this summer as my summer Santa visits, because typically Phineas has been wearing his Victorian era swimsuit and coming from vacation, but Phineas also focuses on the fact that during the summer months, my work doesn't end. I am a busy elf, and even during the summer months, I got to make sure that the reindeer are in tip-top shape. We all know that the reindeer team, Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Dunder, and Blitzen, they are getting older. Rudolph is going to be 84 years old this year. So even Rudolph is getting up there in age, considering a reindeer typically only lives to be 15 to 20 years old. So the new reindeer need to be trained. The new reindeer need to learn how to accept a bit, accept the bridle, accept the harnesses. So that is part and parcel of what Phineas does during the summer with the younger reindeer, getting them used to fill in. You don't know if there's going to be an injury or if one of the reindeer is going to be sick. A couple of years back, Rudolph had a stuffy nose and his nose wasn't working. So we needed to figure out what to do if his nose wasn't working. This is all part and parcel of having a solidified backstory. This is all part and parcel of knowing your character's biography and who you are as a character. When you're coming down during the summer months, you're going to be asked, what are you doing down here during the summer months? You're not supposed to be visiting us. It isn't Christmas time yet. Even during the holiday season, why would Santa be away from the North Pole when he should be honestly getting ready to be filling the sleigh and getting ready for his big trip? Shouldn't he be making his list and checking it twice? Why is he hanging out in a shopping mall? Why is he attending corporate events and Christmas events and posing for pictures? So you're always going to have an answer on the ready for you. So when Phineas is coming down with Santa, why is this elf coming down with Santa during the winter months? Typically, I am saying that we're trying out a new sleigh, and I need to make sure that the sleigh has been maintained well during the months that we're going to get smooth landings and not damage anybody's roofs. Make sure that the sleigh is handling properly for the reindeer. But again, this is all stuff that I have on hand to answer the questions, particularly those of the non-believers who are like, you're not really an elf. And, or you're not really Santa. Is he really Santa? And it's like, well, he looks real to me. I can touch you and stuff like that. And so it's a simple backstory. It has helped me get my outfit, my wardrobe. Found a cowboy hat in Phineas's hat colors. Found a beautiful set of leather wrist bracers with deer on them, whole 9 yards. Everything that I purchase for Phineas is aimed at furthering his story, further telling his story, and creating more and more of the story. Start out small, keep it simple, keep it somewhat based on your own reality. I agree with you, Charlie, on that one, to make it easier to remember, because you need to be consistent. We are going to be going to an event that we have been to this year. This will be the 4th year in a row that we've done Summer Santa for some of these children. And they know about what Santa has done over the summer months. They know that he and Mrs. Claus like going to Christmas Island and spending some time on the beach together during the summer months. They know that a lot of the elves take time off during the summer months to, go work on their hobbies. Some like to hang out in trees and bake cookies all summer long. And so that way, when I come with this, I'm not wearing the swimsuit this year, and I'm going to get asked questions. Why aren't you wearing your swimsuit, Phineas? And it's like, well, we've got some new reindeer. We've got a lot of new reindeer. And thankfully to Rooftop Landing Farms in Michigan, they've had a lot of new reindeer this year. So I'm going to say there's a lot of new reindeer, and these reindeer need to begin their training early and soon. So Phineas has been pretty busy with all these new reindeer. And that's the situation. So I've got my backstory, I've got my biography, and this way I'm able to explain what's happened over the past summer, continue the story that we've been telling over the years for our repeat customers, and create a wonderful new story and an introduction to who Phineas is and who Santa David is for our new believers that we're visiting with during the summer months, because there's always new visitors. And this is how we create a story that's compelling, that's fun and entertaining, engaging. We get the believers of all ages from 4 to 44 to 84 engaged and want to participate in our stories and interested in who we are, and hopefully ask us back for next year. And that's always the best feedback we get is, yes, we'd like to have you back next year. Let's bookmark a date for you as we are doing it now. And by creating this engaging persona, this engaging story, creating this persona, creating this ongoing story that is building every year, we are able to make something that is fun and engaging for our customers, our clients, our believers. And we're working on doing that for the second generation now that we've been working with Santa David and I. Charlie, I see that you confirmed that there's 8 new baby reindeer this spring at Rooftop Landing Reindeer Farm. There are 8 new baby reindeer. It helps to know their names, and I've got their names written down in my book, so I have their names so I can rattle them off eventually. At the same time, I've got Adme the Yeti, and I can tell stories about her if I need to fill time, even though I may not be bringing her to the events I'm at. I will have photos of her in my photo book saying that there is a new denizen at the North Pole. She's joined us. She was blown up by a storm. We're finding out more and more about her, and she's finding her place at the North Pole. And so I'm able to engage people, and by creating a story for Adme the Yeti, it adds to our North Pole as a whole and what we do and what we are. So this is all about storytelling. And if you're consistent, you will be believable. If you have consistent answers and you keep to them year in, year out, you will maintain those believers year in, year out, even as they get older and begin the questioning. We started out with a youngster who is 4 years old, and this youngster is now in their early teens. They're playing hockey. They've got the hockey hair, and they're really too cool for Santa, and they're really too cool for Santa and that idiot elf that comes every Christmas. But at the same time, they're usually the first to sit in Santa's knee and tell them what they want for Christmas after we've done our story times. They're usually the first to want the entire family to pose with the photos with Santa. And they're usually not complaining to mom about having to wear the matching pajamas again for Christmas Eve. So if we can do that for the families, create a magic experience for them by having believable characters, having an ongoing believable story, that is what we do as Christmas performers. We keep the belief, we keep the magic, we keep the holiday magic going for families. year in and year out. And even at some point when this youngster does not believe anymore, he will still pretend to believe because there are younger children behind them, and he will play along, and he'll still have fun, and he'll have the memories that we left him with from the years before. And that's all that really matters. I am not there to provide a photo session. I am there to provide memories for families. And I think that's something we all need to remember, that if we're there to provide memories, a memorable engagement, we will continue to give those memories over the years, and we will become part of these families' Christmas traditions for years to come. And that is why developing a backstory, developing your personal history, your biography as who you are as a Santa, as a Mrs. Claus, as an elf, as a snow person, that's why we do it. Thank you and have a good day.
That's right. Several good points there. Memories for sure. Reinforcing the history that has been laid down by generation after generation for the betterment of Christmas. And there was a bunker crop of reindeer at the rooftop this year. They were so freaking cute, I'll tell you. And folks, Phineas had talked about being asked back to events year after year. I've got to say that North Pole Cornerstones, that is the reason why we have invited Phineas the last 2 years and have been super excited at his guest presentation, and him along with Dr. Bruce, Betsy, and Sean, what they did this last year. Fantastic stuff. Thank you so much, Phineas, for everything you do.
Well, thank you for inviting me. I'm just happy to share what knowledge I have, and hoping to show people what they can do, and help them create their worlds. That's what I want to do. I want to help people create their backstory, help them create their worlds, so they can create memories for the families that they touch year in, year out. Ray Bradshaw, I see that you've got Rudolph's daughter Ruby inherited his nose. We also have Rudolph's daughter. We call her Fireball, and unlike her dad, her entire body lights up. And so we're working on toning that down, because we can't have Santa flying blind with a big bright light in front of him. So
very cool. Back to the those older children that come, whether in PJs, matching PJs or not, but you can usually spot those coming. They've got that look on their face, and they kind of got their head ducked, and we'll get our photos, and we'll start taking our photos, and they're kind of disengaged in the photos, and I'll just look over at them and with a great big smile, and I'll say, "So how much did Mom have to pay you to come do this with Santa again this year?" And they usually get a smile out of them, and they kind of lighten up a little bit from that point forward. But you're right; they eventually warm up and get into it, and they enjoy it. They just they're always worried about what their friends are going to think, and that's another point. I've had a chair full, and they were all reluctant, of course, and I would just kind of look over backwards and forth at them. I don't know, but I think you got a friend standing over here beside the railing looking at you waving. That always tears them up. They'll kind of duck and look and say, and then they'll smile at me and say, "They are not Santa." So there's lots of ways of lightening up the atmosphere when you have those children that are, as Phineas mentioned, reluctant of older age to come get that photo or come, tell Santa what they want. But it always seems to work out. Very few walk away the way they came into the corral or the Santa set or at any event, really. It's not just me. It's what we all do.
One of the larger events that Santa David and I do, this is where Phineas, being a bit of a grump and kind of abrasive, can work, because we always get the cooler than thou teenagers, like, "I'm just too cool for this stuff. I'm only here because Mom wants me here," and da 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 da. And I try out gently with them, and then if they're pushing back, I generally is like, okay, we're getting close to the photograph. And I said, this can go either of two ways. This can either go smooth and easy for you, or we can make this as embarrassing as I want for you. And usually that threat will get them to, okay, buy in. But if they don't, I've got a great photographer, and she is willing to do what needs to be done to get the photos. And she's used to working with babies and the little ones, and doing everything to get the little ones engaged. So making the noises and everything like that. So if I get a holier than thou teenager, I just sort of walk over to the photographer and said, we need to do the newborn attention getting thing for this teenager, and she will do it wholeheartedly. And you will see them go beat red because all of their friends are watching them. And they only do that once. They behave the next year.
Yeah. And the same way, we have different props and things on the photo box, mainly for the children and pets to get their attention. But you can tell one of the older children, and they're acting that way. Don't make that photographer get that toy out on you, and then they'll get it out. They'll start shaking and stuff behind the camera. So you like laugh or whatever, and snap, get that good picture. So there's many ways of doing that. And just remember, stay engaged. That's the point. Stay engaged.
And I'm in character the entire time, and it's like, this can go one of two ways for you, kids. So
the old Marlon Brando comes out in Phineas. Okay, let's go ahead and let's go ahead and get into our trivia answer, Phineas, and go ahead and let folks know what the answer was there.
So the question once again was, in the Little Golden Book, The Sweetest Christmas, Winnie the Pooh gives each of his friends a Christmas gift. When he gets home and unwraps his gifts from him, he discovers that each gave them the same gift that he had given each of them. What was the gift, and who was the author and illustrator? And of course, with Winnie the Pooh, it was a jar of honey, because honey is good for the grumbly and is tumbly. And the book was written by Anne Bray Books and illustrated by Josie Yee.
That's right. And Anthony, you said our winner was CJ?
Yeah.
Charlie?
CJ.
Charlie come out. Charlie's got this deal going. He comes out of timeout, wins, and goes back, sits back, has his refreshment, and watches everybody else stumble over the answers for the next handful of weeks. Good job, Charlie.
Good job. You got the Google Foo.
Yep. I think he's won recently, so I should have his t-shirt size, right? I believe I do. Okay, don't forget to watch all the TNL Network Production 2025 list of shows. Of course, following this show later on this afternoon, we have the Claws Connect. And looks like I forgot to change the date on those, but all the rest of the information is correct. So tonight's guest is Dr. Bruce J.G. Kotovich. Everybody loves Dr. Bruce. And take it from there, Phineas.
Coming up on, once again, tomorrow for Tuesday Night Live, we've got Julia Cracky from Therm Apparel demonstrating the cooling vest and the new products she has for this year. Julia has always got amazing products, and they work. Mike has been out on the picket line, and he has enjoyed his Therm Apparel vest, particularly on the 92-degree day out on a plaza. Coming up on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Time is Kringle Time with the Kringle Brothers. And they've got the CEO and creator of Kringle Tracker, which is a business management software for clauses, and that's Roger Minton, I do believe.
Absolutely.
And coming up on Thursday at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern Time is Santa's Magical Fellowship Group. That is, once again, the Zoom meeting held by Santa Mel at the Facebook group. And this week's special guest are the Kringle Brothers. So you get them 2 nights in a row. And that will be followed at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, with Polar Opposites featuring Santa J. Mac and Santa Jamie.
That's correct. And again, I forgot to change the dates over. You know, it seems like I always forget something on these scripts, but all the other information was correct, so that's all that matters. Now, you mentioned about the thermoparel. I had mentioned earlier that they've got some new product out, and they're all the time researching and developing and improving and coming out with new stuff that can literally save your life. And I do mean life because when your core temperature, that's when you go into the stroke mode. Your body starts shutting down. You start feeling lethargic, and it literally can kill you. And so cooling vests are not just for performance. I mean, race car drivers, and I wished I'd have had them when I was racing. Oh my God, it would have made a difference completely. And but I mean, mowing the yard, wrangling with the reindeer as Phineas does. It doesn't matter if there's a need and it's warm outside, and you think that you're going to remotely overheat in any way. Either buy you a cooling vest through Thermopyro, because again, once you see her presentation tomorrow night, by far the best cooling vest on the market, not only for comfort, for concealability, but just the whole process that they went through. Her husband, and her business partner, all the research, all the development, and the gel packs themselves, the cool packs. Anyway, join us tomorrow night for that. It's going to be great.
Yep, and the fact that she makes them in sizes appropriate for closets with cookie zones, shall we say?
Yeah, and every one of them has a cool name for depending on what size it is. And one of the fun things that I like to do, her booth was right behind ours at Gatlinburg, and that's kind of on purpose because Spangle is also a dealer for the Thermopyro products now, and so we all try to get together when we go to these events. And same way in Memphis when we was at the ISE, she was catty corner from us, and Spangle. We had a corner, so we had 3 of the 4 corners. Doug Eberhard had the other corner, and but we have fun with the term 6-pack, 8-pack, and 10-pack, and of course 6-pack is, everybody knows what a 6-pack is, but that is referring to her gel packs and how many different vests they have for different sizes, different causes, and how many packs that you can pack in them, where you have them, either front, back, sides, so forth and so on. Doug Rice says, I wore my vest during my cross guard days here in Texas, 100-degree heat, and they worked for 2 hours in the sun very, very well. That's correct. And, another of the points that I would like to make about their gel packs is their product is a bio-friendly product, and it's different from all the other gel packs. The technology that they have, you don't even have to put theirs in ice. You can just put it in cold water, and it will refreeze within a matter of half an hour or so. She'll tell us more tomorrow night, but you can always have just a small travel case that you can drop them in, pull another set out, slip them in, and every 2 hours, 3 hours if you're indoors. And like I said, they're lifesavers. Absolutely.
Yep. And if you
Thank you,
don't,
Doug.
if you don't need to wear the vest, she's got other options for you too. There's belts and
Yes.
and hat bands and everything. So lots of options.
Wristbands, I mean, all kinds of things. And we'll find out more about all those tomorrow night. So join us tomorrow night for Julia Cracky, Thermopyro Cooling Vest. And, she's the cool chick. And I'll tell you what, anytime we go to an event, we like to hang out with her. And she is such a funny person. You get her away from the business side, and oh my goodness, she's definitely the cool chick in more ways than one.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, tune in your heat. Tune in, kick up your heels, join in the fun for 2025, all powered by the TNL Network Productions. Phineas, thank you.
Thank you
for everything you do. Thank you for Mondays. Thank you for joining us at NPC the last couple of years, and all the things you do, not only for the performers across the board, but also with your sharing of ideas and information. And education means everything in our industry. It really, really, really does. And it doesn't matter if it's book information, if it's information on performance, backstories. You're always right in the middle of it, and always do a fantastic job. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Hoping you and Angela have a lovely week, and looking forward to watching the rest of the shows this week.
That's right. It's become a tradition. I don't watch regular TV hardly ever. I get a little bit of, enjoyment out of a few programs here and there, but most of my time is spent on YouTube and or catching up on the Claus community through YouTube, which again, our shows are there for everyone to enjoy. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Been a great day, a great week. Hope you have a great week ahead of you and enjoy the weather, because I know for us it's supposed to get really hot. So we got a chance for rain every day this week, and as soon as that tap turns off, like I told Randall last year, the heat sets in immediately. So we'll take the rainy days with some cool afternoons and over the heat any day. Thanks, everyone. See you next time.